Oh, hello, weary traveller. It's me, your old pal, the Shite Guide. I decided to take a journey to the most western fringe of Europe to bring you to the former edge of civilization. A mysterious island shrouded in mist and battered by the impossibly furious Atlantic Ocean since time immemorial. To visit what is described as the most magnificent barbaric monument in Europe, on the island of Inishmore. While this gorgeous outpost is a joy and a wonder to visit in the summer, this is Shite Guides, so I came to visit in the middle of a violent storm during the deepest, darkest depths of the shortest week of the year, because I'm a moron. But maybe you'll enjoy this from the warm bosom of your hive. So sit back and relax, stick on your Sunday socks, and I'll do the work. That's the beach and the pier where the boat pulled in and Poseidon shat us out, and I'm still wobbly after having barely survived a stomach-churning, hour-long journey through the hellish liquid mountains of Neptune's cocaine-fueled wave rage. It was bumpy is what I'm trying to convey. I would have filmed the boat ride, but it turns out that I don't automatically grab my camera when I'm certain that I'm about to die. Because I'm a pussy. It makes me appreciate the brave reporters of Gaza even more. But enough guff. Let's set off. I rented a bicycle upon reaching land. You don't need any locks, since there's no way to rob bikes on this island of 800 inhabitants. Always sad to see a closed down pub. Not so sad to see a closed down church. Inishmore is one of 3 wild isles that make up the Aran Islands, the most Irish part of Ireland. The primary language on the islands is Irish. Being so isolated from the mainland during the hundreds of years of colonialization, slavery and genocides, the island was able to retain its indigenous character. The locals will speak to you in English if they know you're a foreigner or a mainlander, but amongst themselves they speak the ancient language of poets and bards, and in doing so keep alive one of the oldest languages still spoken on this planet. It's a joy and an honor to be present and listen to the echoes from the deep past. Let's take a moment to have a look around and breathe deep the crisp air of freedom. Just gorgeous. Floating through this ethereal landscape invokes deep primeval joy. You never know who you might meet. Hello, kind stranger. Do you speak English? My Irish is not so good. Conna sa tá tú? An bhfuil tú go maith? Go húntach. This is a seal colony. Look at those fat little cunts lounging around happily. Whoop! Little jump there. So graceful. Onwards we go. Let's talk about stones. No mortar, proper order. The landscape is dominated by hundreds of miles of stone walls, cleared from the barely fertile land. They give these islands its unmistakable, ethereal character. For thousands of years, man has endeavoured to change the land to suit his own needs, using only the material available. Whoop, excuse me. These formations are but a fleeting modern homage to the true ancient builders on this island who harnessed the power of stone. And Exhibit A lies far away. That way. How nice. This is the last village before we embark up the hill to the ancient fortress. Sadly, today is not a day for ice cream. But those thatched cottages are lovely. Just lovely. Let's park this bad boy up. No locks. I'll leave my taters. Oh dear, the way is blocked. The spirits of the past are trying to impede our journey yonder. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Fuck's sake. I do like those socks. I cannot overstate just how ball-shrinkingly freezing it is on a North Atlantic island in the middle of winter. But I will not be stopped. That was not a pleasant experience. Damn you. At the top of this hill sits an ancient fortress by the name of Dun Aonghasa, the Fortress of Aonghasa. A character from deep in antiquity, long before the written word. Aonghasa was a Celtic god of love, summer, and poetry. In other words, an Instagram fuckboy of old. He was a member of the Tuatha De Danann, a supernatural race who inhabited Ireland in the darkest past, and he was the son of the gods, Dagda and Bone. The way is blocked again. Dark forces are at play here. The Dagda was one of the truly great gods with power over fertility, war, and the seasons. When he played his harp, he could command the weather to reward the righteous or smite his enemies. A handy man to have in battle. But hark. This fallen soldier never stood a chance against the might of the gods. The Dagda was the owner of a penis so large that it dragged along the ground behind him. I know the struggle. I hope he had it wrapped up well when he was traversing this island, because the ground is quite rough. That wouldn't be a fun time. We must be cautious on our approach to his son's fortress, because these trickster gods have been known to use all the weapons in their ethereal armaments against intruders and interlopers. Let us enter this hallowed ground. But nay, the gods have called forth their minions, and we are instantly attacked and assailed by their retinue of howling forces. The black clouds descend on the mountaintop, and we are engulfed in their hailstone winds.
Oh my God!
A terrible beauty. We have entered the realm of gods. But we have only breached the first layer of protection. We have yet to enter the inner sanctum, yonder. Modern woodwork stands side by side with the stonework of an extinct race, holding fast against nature's rage for thousands of years. What new madness awaits us inside? This says the fortress encompasses 11 acres of cursed land, and this is the epicenter. And again, the wind increases in ferocity. The edge beckons me to oblivion.
Oh shit, let's get away from here.
I don't have the vocabulary to describe the effort it is taking for me to keep standing against this furious tempest. Aengus and his celestial cohorts are doing their darndest to hurl me from their lair into the foaming ocean below. Usually, you can crawl along the ground here like the miserable worm that you are and peer over the sheer cliffside to the waves 100 meters below. But again, I must stress that I have come here at the literal worst possible time, and I have aroused the mighty Aengus from his primeval slumber. It is suspected that holy rituals were conducted here, and this large central platform is hypothesized to be the spiritual center of the site. If you lit a fire on this platform, it could be viewed all the way back on the mainland of Ireland, although obviously not on a shite day like today. To give you an impression of how old this fortress is, the sea wasn't right below it at the time it was made. It was 1,000 meters further away due to lower sea levels. And the fortress may even once have been a full circle, with the cliff collapsing between now and then. We have no fucking idea. It's just so fucking old. Only the ancient gods know. The inner walls reach a maximum height of 6 meters and bulge out to a width of 4 meters. Oh, shit, 1 second. There we go. That's much better. No mortar was used in the construction of this fortress, and modern experts have no answer for the reasons it was built over 3,000 years ago. Who could possibly have been threatening those living up here, behind their great walls? You would first have to traverse the madness of the Atlantic before even reaching this desolate rock. And without modern roads and footwear, it would have been a foot-shredding horror to even reach this place. It has several layers of protection consisting of 4 separate walls and a deep, man-made forest of sharp limestone blocks stuck into the ground that any would-be attackers would have to traverse. Presumably, all the while being pelted by a heaving crowd of madmen from behind these walls. Would you be bothered? But let's be real for a moment. Whenever you feel like your life is hard, that's probably true. But just keep in mind that at one point in time, there was a chance that you might have had to hop over that wall and then just start running through a giant fortress of razor-sharp limestone and attack a giant stone fortress at the top of a mountain on a desolate island. And there's a crowd of lunatics inside the fortress who don't want to let you in. I mean, holy shit, what the fuck was going on? Join a union, I think is what I'm trying to say. Join a union. The site dates back to about 1200 BCE, the same time as the European Bronze Age collapse, when civilizations were wiped out by unknown forces almost overnight. It is the great unanswered question of history. And this cliffside fortress on the furthest edge of Europe only heaps more fuel on the pyre of speculation. What mad cunt would ever dare attack this fortress with the full knowledge that it was occupied by an even madder band of cunts, people mad enough to actually live here? But comrades, I must away. The torment of the tempest is too great, and I have been bested by the furious gods of the mount. Farewell, Dun Aonghasa. I'll be back in another 3,000 years to check in. And just like that, the curse is lifted. The moment we descended the hill, the storm disappeared and peace returned to the land. Now the only dangers are from the island itself. Scattered all around these islands are the stone remains from different ages, stretching from the Iron Age through to the invention of the pint, an ancient unbroken tradition of masonry. But enough of the shite talk. I have one more place to bring you on this journey before the sun goes down and darkness reigns over this island. The high point of this island, right up there, is our next ancient destination. But while we walk, let's consider these stone walls. When ancient man arrived on this rocky outpost, it was barren, incapable of supporting mammals. So our ancestors began pulling seaweed in from the Atlantic and laying it all over the island, eventually turning it into a thin layer of soil, too feeble to support even a single tree. They cleared the stones from their pitiful fields and built endless walls, both to protect their crops from the wind and to keep their cows and bulls. And the bull was the most revered of beasts in these lost times. There's the woman that I love. She's not enjoying the rain, but it's nice that she's putting up with my shit all day. Look at her go. An abandoned lighthouse. Is it warning us of disaster, or beckoning us forth to shine a light on the dark past? Well, it's abandoned, so probably neither, to be honest. Only the last rays of the sleepy sun can guide us now. Just down the road from Dun Aonghasa lies Dun Eochla, the baby brother, the new kid on the block, coming in at a measly 1,500 years old. Another ring fort built in a much similar manner to Dun Aonghasa, a tradition stretching through several millennia. How many of these structures once populated our planet, but weren't isolated enough to survive? It's officially closed, but no wall can stop me now. Only the gods of old. Although to be fair, I am struggling a bit though with this fucking, what, there we go. Here lies the Stone Age bed of Diarmid and Grania, two lovers who spent their final days being pursued all over Ireland by Fionn McCool, whose mountaintop grave I visited in another video. Look at that. Diarmid, the stepson of Aengus, was killed by a magic bull while protecting his lover Grania, ending the greatest love story of Irish mythology. I don't want to get killed by a bull. Then I wouldn't be able to visit 5,000-year-old wedge tombs like this. Or cool ring forts like that. It's cool, huh? I stand here looking at an ancient building from 1,500 years ago, wondering what the fuck were these mad lads up to? It's wild to think that those very people would have looked back at Dun Aonghasa and wondered the same about the lunatics who were there 2,000 years before them. Maybe we're not so different. More walls to traverse, but we're almost there. Yup. And the last hurdle. And a large barrel of water. And a fresh shit. But whose shit? Against all odds, we have beaten the gods and may enter the ring fort. What wonders await us inside? Who knows? Perhaps we may come across a... Oh, Jesus! It's him. The killer of Diarmid. Fuck. Maybe we'll leave it off. Yeah. Damn you, magic bull. So it would appear that the gods of old still stalk the island, and I know when to take a hint. Safety first. Here we go. You bastards. It's been a long day, on the shortest day of the year. Maybe it's time to call it a night. Goodbye, Diarmid. Goodbye, Grania. Goodbye, Aengus. And goodbye to you, weary traveller. Oh, it's my potatoes. I'm off to the pub to annoy the locals with my tales of the gods. And maybe I'll see you again soon for more Zen reflections.